What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. I'm hanging out in the food forest right now, and I was about to do a bunch of work, but then I decided I wanted to bring you all along for kind of like the final tour of what the food forest is going to look like before I start getting my hands really dirty. Getting in here, getting a lot of the work done, pulling out some of the raspberries, selecting some of the trees I'm going to remove. So I wanted to bring you guys along, show you how this forest looks, and also the new food forest, get a peek in on that, and some of the stuff they'll grow in. Let's go! Looking into the food forest from the outside now. Here's one of the sections I'm going to be cleaning up tomorrow. Composting a lot of these tomato plants, these old dead ones. Some of the tomatoes we just didn't finish. And that section is going to be cleaned up. Next year I'm not going to allow those tomatoes to grow through as much. I'm going to allow that space to be all taken over by the grapes, because look how long it is. The grape has really extended its reach. It's going over from that shed over there, over to here, which is awesome. So we're going to make sure we open up a lot of light for that. Also, some of these raspberries, like I had said in the intro, I'm going to be removing some of those, and I'll talk about that a little more as I get into the video. But just to give you the peek from the outside, because things are going to be looking different, I'm going to be doing a lot of pruning. A lot of this stuff has to get shortened. A lot of things need haircuts. A lot of things need some taken care of. As I step in through the gate here, you can see this mailbox. This is where we store a lot of our tools and stuff. So if we're out here, we just stick them in there so we don't drop them on the ground anywhere, so we don't lose them. Got some echinaceas and stuff when you walk in. Kind of nice little intro all along the side, so it's more inviting, and I'm going to try to add that more. I talked about that last video. All the strawberries in the ground. Here's a Rainier cherry right here, doing good. And we took down earlier this fall, we took down actually a peach tree right here, which was supposed to be a nectarine, but that I guess was mislabeled and sent to us. And here is a cherry tree. And the reason we took down that peach tree is so we can open up light to that cherry tree right there, which is a gold cherry. And also, actually that's a black Tartarian cherry, and also this Rainier cherry here. And a new pear back there, which is okay. I'm planning on keeping that pear, getting that tall and thin, and trying to get it over top of that hazelnut. And over here we've got this greenhouse. I've been working in the greenhouse, planting some stuff in there, and I'll bring you guys along for that as it progresses, but it's still small, not too much to see. And these raspberries are kind of something that's been a little sad for us. In previous years, those raspberries have always been a staple for us. They've done really well in the fall, but this year it seems like the little fruit flies, I don't know if you guys have them locally, they came here this year and they got out a lot of the raspberries, and the fall ones really, it wasn't that great of a harvest. So a lot of these raspberries in here, they're everbearing. I usually just go for the big fall harvest rather than getting the spring and the fall. So what I'm gonna do is leave some of these raspberries probably and not cut them down or pull them out at all. This way I can get a little spring harvest on some of them, but the majority of them I'm gonna be pulling out, and I'm gonna be focusing more on some of the black cap raspberries and other raspberries that fruit more in the spring, just so I don't have to compete against those insects, because I don't want to be getting one of my good harvests decimated by that. And that's just what we do. We don't react, we kind of just observe and just flow with the tides of things, not fight against it too much. That's kind of what I like to do. And maybe just go for some different kinds of practices as opposed to just, going out there and spraying. I'll just plant a different variety. That's one of our greatest choices, to be able to choose varieties. And this variety here was just a classic red Latham. So I'm not too upset that I actually lost that. But I think it's just a great testament to the fact that nothing is promised to you. Even something as simple as raspberries, you think you're definitely going to get a harvest from that. These fall raspberries just weren't as good as in the past. Tuck's still having fun out here with me. Always out here, always having a good time. Love this guy. Right, Dougie? Good boy. Throw some likes on the video and put some comments down there for Tuck. He loves being out here, and I read him the comments. He loves them. And right here we've got the Santa Rosa plum tree. That thing is really going to need a haircut. You can see at this time of year where I cut it last year, I think I'm going to cut it even lower, have less branching. And right there, the Bing, that's the queen, looking excellent. We added some more cherry trees to help increase the pollination on that one. That was important, so I'm happy we did that. And I got my hat hanging up here because it is chilly with the moon glow. Look at the growth on the moon glow. Definitely going to have to cut it up top there. You can see where the last fruit spurs are. I'll talk about that more when we get to pruning later. And that asparagus thick under there, I've got to prune that out. It's about time to get rid of some of that stuff. The almond tree, I'm gonna have to prune that down. It's one that I don't want to take it out. I want to just kind of dwarf it and keep it small, because I love to get a few almonds on there. This apple tree here, I'm going to be removing this one. It's just a common Golden Delicious, nothing special about it, and it's worth getting rid of when you've got the Prigioni apple right there. You can't get that anywhere else. Really cool. Grapes, the Concord, I'm going to stay on top of pruning those and making sure I open up a lot of light for that as well. I can't believe how early it gets dark now. It's just after 3 and I feel like the sun's about to go down. Here's one of the peach trees that's done well also. It's still got some peaches up there. We're gonna make sure we pull those down and get rid of them because they can be harboring the curculio. We went through and picked up a lot of the peaches on the ground as they fell, and the strawberries have just blanketed the ground, which is fantastic. And the blackberries back here. So the blackberries, I'm gonna have to do a little more pruning on. Some of them I pruned just like as I was supposed to, and a few of them I missed. This one is perfect here. So pruned to about, I guess that's about 4 or 5 feet high, and we've pruned it the top, just taking the top off so that we have all those side shoots. That's where you're gonna get all the fruit from. That's what we want. And I just backed into a tree a little bit there. And as we move to the left here, there's the other peach tree. You can see the spacing on that one. I really like the spacing on that peach tree. And it's got that open center. We're gonna be removing this apple tree right here. This is one of the first trees I planted in the garden, and look how small it is. So some trees, they just don't do well sometimes. That's just how it is. Sometimes you can't fight it. And here's some more of the raspberries I'm gonna be removing. They just made a sea of raspberries, a little too thick. I'm gonna make sure I just leave maybe, a few strips of them and tie them up. I think that'll be better along some kind of trellis. Make almost like an alleyway, I'm thinking. An alleyway to walk through with some raspberries on each side. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It's getting dark so early, the camera is having a tough time focusing on some of the stuff. So I hope you guys are able to view some of it, but I really want to share it with you because tomorrow I need to get some of this work done. I'm itching to get it done because I'm just happy to be out here again. I'm happy I got that excitement back. Tuck's out having a fun time. The chickens are out working in the garden too. So we're all just kind of doing our part, getting some things done. But I wanted to show you into the new food forest where we're still eating some things and still some things are growing, and a number of things I wanted to talk about. Let me flip the camera and show you guys what's up. So right in the front here, we got some greens growing, as you can see. It's funny because a lot of you were asking what I was planning on doing with this. So I was just hoping to grow some greens and things so when you walk in, you just have a nice, alleyway. You don't have to walk deep into the garden to find the stuff. We've got some bok choy, some Asian greens here, doing real good. I love the flavor on this stuff. Almost kind of like, in my opinion, almost kind of a little mustardy, but still not as sharp and really good. Arugula back there too. Not a lot of just regular lettuce because we like mixing it up. Throw some kale and stuff in there and everything. A lot of the garlic has sprouted, and I'll talk about what to do with that if some of your garlic is sprouted also. And some of the stuff in here I'm still going to be coming through and cleaning up, but that's why I wanted to show you before I do. Some of the kale has fallen. The wind just got too strong on some of those tall ones. But we still got some of the hardy kale. You can see that how tight it's holding itself, keeping nice and warm. Threw in some spinach in some places too. Didn't go too crazy because I was just taking a break and I wanted to just kind of take a season off in a sense. And I'll jump back on it, get into the greenhouse, do some work. And as you can see, some of these carrots I'm sure are getting close. Let me just grab one. I really need to do a video about it for you guys, but nice small little carrot here. So we're gonna let these continue to grow into the winter, and as it gets cooler, they'll get sweeter. I'm sure Tuck is gonna want it. Tucky, what do we got here, boy? Oh ho ho! This guy's gonna have a good time with this one. That one's actually gonna be pretty sweet, boy. So we've got a bunch of carrots all growing here. Nothing crazy though. Strawberries are still looking really nice. This variety has just done excellent. Love to see it. You saw in the previous videos as we took out that middle variety. We're just not going to fight against it too much if we don't have to. And that far variety we still got too. So I'm going to be adding another strawberry variety in here. Let me know down in the comments if there's something you think I should put in. If you've got a favorite, I'll stick it in. Some more kale we stuck into the ground too, just so we can be eating it later into the season. And I'll have some growing in the greenhouse too. Some fresh greens, some microgreens. I already got the stuff planted, and a lot of it's already up. It's just a matter of getting it transplanted and get some true leaves on it and getting it growing. So there's not too much to sow over in the corner there. A lot of the fruit trees have just done exactly what we wanted. They're looking really healthy and doing well. Some of these pear trees that don't look as good, just looks like a stick right now. But just wait till spring, it'll really impress you, I think. And as you can see, some of these peach trees back here are still holding their leaves, looking fantastic. Love to see it. And this fence really went off this year. This is the chicken fence, but it's also got completely covered in raspberries. So next spring we're gonna be eating a lot of raspberries. And you can see it was covered in a lot of the wild, I'll guess call them now, tomatoes, those little cherry ones. So we'll make sure to compost those down and bring you guys along if you want to see it as we build a compost pile, as we grow some of our, or build some of our own fantastic homemade compost. Tuck's saying it's about time to go, so let's get going. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had a good time coming through the tour as we saw the food forest, both the 7-year-old one and the new one, just so you could like see the progression of things. So you could look back even at some of the older videos to see where we're at now, to see the bigger picture, and to get to like experience it kind of as I'm getting to live it. And for me to be able to share with you as I live it, it's such a blessing, and I'm so thankful to be able to do that. So I want to thank all you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video though, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Don't forget to check us out on Steam It. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. We love posting on those sites, and just continue to follow along. Don't forget that bell though, because we're going to be progressing along and working on the food forest as it goes from one season to the next one, doing what we have to do to get bigger harvests, have more fun. So we'll catch you guys real soon. Prigioni and Tuck, we out.